Washington football team at the Buffalo Bills. Brad also has a play on this game. This one is very, very interesting. So through 2 weeks, the Bills averaging just 4.8 yards per pass play. That is 30th in the NFL after being third in the NFL last year in yards per pass play. Josh Allen has been pressured on 40.2% of his dropbacks. That's the 7th most in the NFL. And by the way, he is 35% passing on those where he has been pressured for 128 yards. And what does Washington do? They blitz and get pressure. They blitz 37% of the time. It's the 3rd highest rate in the league. They pressure. They've gotten pressure on quarterbacks so far. That's 6th highest rate. So, Brad, I assume you're kind of looking at these statistics and looking at that and saying, okay, look, maybe the Bills are a buy long term and maybe they figure some things out. But in this particular matchup with the amount of points I'm getting, it just seems like that's too big of a gap.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, as you laid out there, Josh Allen and this passing offense has not been good. So PFF has got him the 5th worst quarterback through 2 weeks. And, I watched a lot of that Dolphins game last week, went back and watched it. And it's about as bad as you'll see a quarterback play and win 35-0, right? Like, he looked like he did 2 years ago, kind of inaccurate, kind of unsure what he was seeing, holding onto the ball and then getting pressured because of it. So there's 2 things I think that could be going on. One is kind of this plexiglass principle that the analytics guys will talk about. If you make a huge leap, you're more likely to come back down the next year to the middle, right? Mm-hmm. Just regression essentially. Right. Or there's a chance that the league has figured out how to play him as well. Like they're talking about, there's a way to play Mahomes or whatever. Is this how a team's figured out how to play Josh Allen now? And I think if it's what the Steelers did week 1, for example, that was rush 4 and play zone. Well, the Washington football team have the horses up front to rush 4 and play zone. So, I think they can keep them relatively in check and sort of, keep them nullified as we've seen so far this season. Mm-hmm. Then the other side, I think Taylor Heineke has shown he's competent, basically, isn't he? 20th in PFF grade, so much better than Josh Allen so far this season. But yeah, they can move the ball. And I think as 8-point underdogs, 8.5-point underdogs, that's good enough for me. So yeah, back to the Washington football team.
A lot of people have agreed with you, actually. Over at FanDuel, this thing has fallen all the way to the flat 7. So this thing is all the way down to a touchdown at FanDuel right now, 45.5, 46. The total here. Steven, you and I don't have a bet. Oh, actually, you did go ahead and partner this up with a teaser leg.
I did. I teased this with the Panthers on Thursday night. I'm also going to tease it with the Arizona Cardinals. I do share your concerns for Josh Allen, and I do see the regression from a year ago. I also, though, still think they win this game, maybe by not what this big spread is, mm-hmm. but my concerns are also with the Washington football defense, which a lot of us expected to be one of the better units in the league coming into the season, and through 2 weeks have left a lot to be desired. This is a team that is middle of the road in success rate, middle of the road in EPA per play. And what stood out to me is they're 29th through 2 weeks in QB knockdown percentage, despite having the 2nd most blitzes in the league. On top of that, they're 30th in coverage grade from PFF. So they're sending extra men to try and get pressure, but have one of the lowest knockdown rates in the league. That's a bad combination. That's also going to leave your back end vulnerable. So, and these numbers also included a game on a short week against Daniel Jones. So they made Daniel Jones look fantastic on Thursday night last week. So I still have faith in the Bills to win this game. So that's why I think they're a good teaser leg. And also going back to the teaser leg best practices, right? I mean, this is a fairly low over-under, so the more points you buy in a total, then the more valuable they are. So I think this sets up pretty nicely. I still have confidence that the Bills win this game at home.
Yeah, weirdly enough, I actually like both of y'all's bets. I think the 8.5 with Washington is a good bet. And I think that the 1.5 with the Bills, I think that it could easily fall somewhere right in there. Something's got to give here, because the deal with Josh Allen is he's been pretty horrible on downfield throws this year as well. 4 of 17. By the way, that's 23%. If you're wondering, on throws of 15 yards or more down the field. That's the lowest rate in the league through 2 weeks. He was actually up at 48.5% last year. Again, that was a huge leap forward for Josh Allen last year. And so maybe there is a little bit of regression setting in here. That being said, to Steven's point with the Washington defense, they've allowed opponents to score on 61% of possessions so far this year, which is the highest rate in the league. Not good, Bob, for a defense that's supposed to be one of the better in the league. So yeah, something's got to give here. Like they've got to play better defense. Josh Allen's got to throw, better deep balls. He's got to handle being pressured more. So this is a very fascinating game to me, but one that I am going to sit out.